Hi guys, my name is Sharon and I am the one that did the post yesterday talking about dystonia and how you can use KT tape to manipulate the muscle. I am a young onset Parkinson's patient. I was diagnosed back in 2017 with young onset Parkinson's disease. I exercise daily, which is very vital to Parkinson's. And one thing that really helps me, and I posted it yesterday, is KT tape. Now I do want to specify that I am not endorsed in any way by any KT or Kinesiology product out there, and nor do I endorse any. I just am going to show you one that I happen to actually like, that I actually purchased off of Amazon. I keep going back to this particular brand just because I really like it. But Parkinson's can have dystonia. It can be either a symptom of Parkinson's, or dystonia can be actually a disease on its own, as I posted yesterday. So in order to maintain proper balance and to be able to maintain exercise regimen, balance is key when you have Parkinson's or dystonia. So to help me maintain my balance and to be able to keep my posture as straight as possible, KT tape actually has been used with professional athletes for many, many years because of the fact that it can manipulate the muscle to be able to strengthen it and give it the flexibility that it needs. So I'm going to show you how I actually tape my foot. Now keep in mind, every individual who suffers from dystonia or some kind of muscle structure problem where you need to use this, you'll use it based on whichever way your muscle is being affected. So I'm going to show you how my muscle is affected and how it's useful for me, but keep in mind, you may have to manipulate that tape a little bit different based on your personal symptoms. Now, for me, and one thing that I want you to remember when you're using the KT tape is whatever way the muscle is contracting or turning in, you want to do the tape the opposite way of that to be able to pull it out of that structure. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the brand of tape that I like on Amazon. It's called Mighty X. I get 3 rolls of it. I like the non-broking form. There is some KT tape that does have breaks on it. I like to be able to cut my own structure and sizes. So to show you how this stuff works and how I manipulate my foot. Now for me, for my Parkinson's, what I have is the toe curl, which is very common. So my toes would twist in, as you can see already. This particular muscle here pulls. Now I do get Botox injections done about every 3 months. I'm at the end of my 3-month mark, coming up really in about another week. So it's pretty much worn off at this point, so I need to get another injection done, and when I do, it helps I don't have to use as much tape. But meanwhile, for those who don't want to get Botox injections or who want a little added extra support, who do get it, I'm going to show you how you can manipulate the muscles with this stuff. So for me, as I told you, this pulls in. I walk on the outside edging of my foot, and then it kind of does like this weird twist, turn, and pull out is the only way to explain it. So one thing that I like that you can do with this tape is I cut a small section off, probably no larger than, I would say it looks about 4 inches. And then, let me cut a little, I'm gonna cut again into a nice thin, about 1/2 inch size, because I wanted to go around my toe. Because one thing that happens with dystonia that's very common in Parkinson's is you get, they call it the hitchhiker thumb, which happens in your hand. Well, your toe does the same thing. That's why you see my toe popping up. So that causes that's from all this muscle contraction going on in here that's very involuntary. So what you can do is you'll take the tape, you want to go around the big toe. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna pretend like, almost like you're getting your Botox injection. See how my toe starts pulling down when I lift it up? These toes curl down, this one goes up. So I'm gonna first structurally support the big toe. So I do a nice little cross X on here, if you can see that, and I angle it on the side for support. So that's going to stabilize that muscle in here by stabilizing in here. Then what I do is I want to go in the direction that the muscle, so since my muscle wants to curl in here, right? It wants to do this and twist because of this muscle. I want to support the ankle to make it go more straight, because this muscle is the problem here. It's contracting and pulling and twisting the foot. You can pretty much see it right in here, how this is arching this way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tape and I'm gonna bend around this way to pull my ankle in the opposite direction. So I'll cut a piece like this, and then I'm gonna take this, and this has good flex on it. You don't wanna flex it too tightly so that you cut off your circulation, but see how the toes are curling? By putting this around the toes, it's gonna force them to stay in a much straighter position, and I'm giving this support too where I've already taped it. So I'm gonna come around, and I'm gonna do about, I would say, flex-wise, probably about 40% flex. So I'm not doing 100%, but I'm flexing it around, and then I'm pulling it this way, right? See how I'm pulling this? And I'm pulling it all the way. Now I like this tape because it also has waterproof resistancy on it. And you can already see how just doing that is kind of straighten that ankle, right? So you can see the toes are not curling anymore. Take a look at that. How amazing is that? The toes are now in a more upright position. The big toe is not doing the hitchhiker anymore. So I'm gonna do a little added support, right? I'm gonna come around with this because I wanna really get those toes. And part of the problem too is that you have that arch that wants to bend in here, right? You got to right in your arch. So I take this tape and I'm going to go across the top of it, around the bottom. And this size is probably, that I cut, I would say about a foot. And then we're gonna give it some flex. See, once again, 40% flex right in the center of the arch. And look at that. Look at how my foot is already now acting straight. Amazing. So now, how do I get this part to not twist this way, right? So I'm gonna take this again, my tape, and this is why I say to buy the solid piece, because you wanna cut the sections to about the sizing that you need. So I'm gonna go, and just because I've done this so much, to show you how much I'm gonna cut. This is probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 inches, right? We're looking at. About a nice 6-inch piece on here. So to keep this muscle from twisting, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right here because I know that this wants to bend. So I'm gonna take this, and this is gonna be about the same flex, 40 to about 50 flex is what I call it. And we call it flex because it means you're flexing and pulling the tape. I'm gonna put it right about here, in the center. And then I'm gonna flex this around the back of my ankle. And I'm gonna come around. See, I'm pulling it this way. Since it wants to go this way, right? I'm pulling it the opposite direction of where it wants to turn in. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna put this across. I'm gonna drop it down. Now what I've just done is I forced the ankle to not twist in anymore. It's not twisting this way. It's completely straight, completely straight. Now this gives me the flexibility to be able to walk. I can, if you want to jog, whatever you want to do. I have nice straight artery now within the muscle that I've manipulated with kinesiology tape. Now you'll see me also, because hip flexors can be affected with Parkinson's. So what you'll also see is when I'm having a bad day with the hip flexors, and I'm just gonna do one leg because you're gonna do both legs the same way just to give you the idea here. I cut a size that's gonna go across the knee here. So you're looking at, this is probably about 4 to 5 inch. And you're gonna flex it. So it's gonna be flexed more in the center. And you wanna do probably about, I would say, I do probably 50 flex on this, maybe 60. So I start with right here on the outside. I hold it here so there's no flex. I want the flex to be in the center. See how I flex that in the center? And then there's no flex on where I'm placing it. So the flex is all right in here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about another cut. Now just to save on some of the tape, you can do solid straight pieces, but I want to save on some of my tape. So this is about another 6-inch piece. I just simply cut it in half and I'm just saving on tape. That's all I'm doing. But if you need more support, use the full piece. And this is going to be really important for the hip flexors because, okay, so we have this issue going on. Your hip flexors want to twist in like this, right? With Parkinson's or with dystonia. So I'm going to manipulate my muscles so they go outward. So once again, we're going to do kind of the same thing. It's this muscle here, right, that wants to make your legs bow in. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this KT tape and I'm going to put it as if, think of it like you got a little joint right here. I'm putting it on the angle. And then I'm gonna crisscross it. So I wanna pull this muscle over. So I'm giving this quite a bit of flex. This is probably more like, and I'm flexing it right in here only. And I'm probably giving this like 70 flex. And then I'm gonna lightly just drop it over here. So there's no flex here. The flex is right in this region. And then I'm gonna cross over with the same thing, but I'm gonna go lighter flex. I'm still gonna give it flex because I want that support so it doesn't completely turn in. It's just not gonna be the 70 flex. 60, 70, I would say that I do right in the center. This one, I'm gonna probably do it about a 50. So I'm just gonna kind of lightly, same thing, put it this section, and then I go here, just enough. And then I'm just gonna drop this one. Flex goes in the middle only. And then you just drop it. And that's gonna give you the support to keep this leg straight. So that's it. If you have any more questions, let me know. Let me know how this actually goes for you.